welcome back to Delightfully Dysfunctional Therapist Reacts, and today I will be reacting to Ren Chinchilla's How to Be Me, which it's been a while. It's been a hot second since we've had Ren, and it was so fun. Like, the dynamic between the two of them is just fire. I'm just going to be watching this on repeat because it's just so much fun to see that energy between the two of them. They know how to do a duet. This song just, it didn't disappoint. I loved the lyrics, and I really hope that you enjoy my take on it. As always, I'd love to understand and know how this song hit you, and I feel like music is meant to give us an opportunity for our own interpretation and to bring our own flavor to the mix. And so I'd love to learn more about what your takeaways were, what you enjoyed from this song. As always, I'm so happy that you're here, delightful humans, and we would love for you to join us on our podcast, Delightfully Dysfunctional, where we're going to be featuring stories of resilience, and you can have an opportunity to share your story soon. I'll give you more information soon. But there's also information from experts and just takes that we have when it comes to living your life with more love, with more inner peace, with more healthy habits, and our take on how we do our stumbling best along the way to just be human. Thank you so much, delightful humans, for joining us. Please like, subscribe, and share, and enjoy.
1, 2, 3, 1. Oh, 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 oh.
Okay, they just harmonize so beautifully. It's like I just get swept away. It's so beautiful. Oh, and a cappella, so I'm just already eating this up.
I don't feel safe in this bed. There are voices in my head. I've been talking to the dead, and the fear baptized me. My kingdom turned to dust, and I watched all my riches rust. Have I lost the Midas touch, or do sad eyes blind me? Over and over we go, over the hills and the valleys below. Oh, and it follows me home, and it suffocates me. No, I can't breathe. I said, oh, I can't breathe. All I know is I forgot how to be me.
I just can be so enraptured by the beauty of their duets. They're so connected, and there's such an intensity. It's just, I can get so lost in it. So it's beautiful in the way that they harmonize, and they're such musicians, so they're so interconnected with their crescendos and when it's building, and it gives me chills. So I was just glued to it, and their facial expressions are so fun, so yummy to watch. Wow, the lyrics in this are so beautiful. And when it's talking about I don't feel safe in this bed. There's voices in my head. I've been talking to the dead. I think, to me, I'm thinking a little bit about even just insomnia and anxiety, thinking too much, our anxious voice. It could also be because I know Ren and his story with Lyme disease and the subsequent just symptoms that were so difficult for people to navigate. You can fall into psychosis, and he really struggled with his mental health. So for him personally, those lyrics might have a more specific meaning than just like your anxiety. But it's interesting. We just did a podcast episode about simplicity and the need to slow down, and how so often we're not in the present moment, but we're ruminating about the past, or we're overthinking the what if of the future. So even that lyric about I've been talking to the dead feels, to me, it's like I've been ruminating about the past, or the past what ifs, the past possibilities. That it kind of speaks to me. Again, his own personal interpretation could be different. And the fear baptized me. So I've just gotten so used to this fear, this inauthenticity in life. That's what these lyrics are bringing up for me. And it's so hard because like there's so many beautiful little bits that I want to dissect. Watching my riches turn to rust, have I lost the Midas touch? I think life has crescendos, there's ebbs and flows. And so often when we are in a difficult place, a dark night of the soul, where we're maybe struggling with, will I ever find that feeling again of living authentically? Will I ever be able to live in more connection? And there's a real fear that forever I'm going to feel this way. And I've felt that way before in the ebbs and flows of my own life. And now it feels really good to have a different kind of faith in myself. I think there's a little bit of an identity crisis just baked into this song. I mean, it's called How to Be Me. Like there's a confusion in one's identity. And even it makes me wonder if this is even just about fame, because, fame can be like hot and cold. And so you can find that momentum and really gain a name for yourself. And then it oftentimes just feels like, oh, well, now how do I recreate that? Which would cause someone to wonder, like, have I lost the Midas touch? Or even this like idea of all my riches, all my success, all these accomplishments that I've been chasing, they don't satisfy me. That is another piece, like watched all my riches rust. That's what comes to mind for me too, because as we keep talking about in our podcast episodes about like what really makes someone happy, what really creates a life of inner peace, it so often has nothing to do with material possessions and like accomplishments. So, and then right over the hills and valleys, as I'm talking about, the ups and downs of life. So far, those are my takeaways with this song. And I hope that I can like remember enough to like be here in reality to even pause and talk again, because it's just so much fun to watch them duet together. It's so much fun.
Feel safe in these halls. There are bruises on the walls. There are bodies in the floors, and they breathe so loudly. I wish I could move, get up and walk right out this tomb. Do our saviors die too soon? For my sins surround me.
Ah, my gosh, again, it is so fun to watch them sing. That's why this is my second music video of them together, and maybe those are the only two, I'm not sure. But like the setting can be so simple because just the energy between the two of them is so much fun and entertaining to see that ebb and flow. They're just interconnected. They can, elicit the same energy, mirror it back to one another. And I just really love it. I'll stop talking about how much I love it and focus on the lyrics. There were some juicy lyrics in this section too that I want to talk about. I don't feel safe in the halls. There's bruises on the walls. There are bodies in the floors. Again, and to me, what comes up is like, oh, I've lived this inauthentic life, or that some people, when they're not really feeling their power and practicing self-love, then you're going to have a lot of rumination or anxiety that comes up, almost like I've pushed my mistakes. I've pushed them down, I've ignored them, but there's this sensitivity, there's bruises in the walls. It doesn't feel safe within me. Again, like it almost makes me think back to Mansion by NF when they're using, you know, a lot of comparison with a home, a mansion, and the rooms within a mansion to describe one's inner world. Like I'm seeing that mirrored here too, with a lot of discussion about like the construction of this house, of your personal like internal house, and saying like they breathe so loudly, like, oh, the inauthenticity is too loud, the maybe mistakes or the struggle with wanting connection, whatever it might be in this identity crisis, feels like there's such vulnerability. Every little bump hurts. And so much of mental health it's painful. It feels like that in your psyche, in that internal world.
Over and over we go, over the hills and the valleys below. Oh, and it follows me, and it suffocates me. I can't breathe. I said, oh, I can't breathe. Oh, how to be me. When he gave up the fight, a quick decision late in the night that stayed with me for all of my life. I miss you so.
Wow. Well, I mean, that really feels like it's about someone who lost their life. I'm wondering if he's referencing his friend that he talks about in the music video Suicide and what that song was about. That part surprised me there at the end. It feels, but I can understand like this, who am I? Where am I in this world? I forgot to be me. That's so isolating. And I think when we forget how to be, you know, ourselves around other people, that's sometimes a hint of just, I think it's a hint of, do I have that emotional vulnerability to understand myself and others, to express my emotions, to trust in my ability to navigate the world and to seek connection. And it extended past just how someone feels around other people, but even within their own skin. And that's when that isolation, it's just so intense and scary. And so hearing like someone who gave up that fight, a quick decision in the night. Yeah, I mean, suicide is a permanent decision made in this like temporary moment, in this fleeting moment. And I think echoing their own mental health journeys as well. I keep thinking about, like I'd mentioned, about like once you're in the music industry or you're like gaining fame, you become like a commodity. And so to me, there were moments of that where I was wondering, like, is this where that's coming from? That sense of like, who am I? How do I find myself? How do I maintain those boundaries of like who I really am and not get swept up in just the momentum of one's career? Because I think that can be true for so many of us, not just people who like have fame and are talented like Ren Chinchilla, but just being swept up in that momentum can carry anyone away. And we have to all remember how to slow down and find that simplicity, to remember who we really are, to find communion with ourselves in some way and with others. And that's why I love this opportunity to meet with you through like my interpretation of these music videos. And I think, you know, each person, like I've mentioned before, has their own unique interpretation that could diverge from this. And that's the beauty of music. It doesn't all have to be the same. I think most artists want you to form your own connection with the lyrics, and that's the beauty of what they do, is that that's like kind of the healing power, is for it to fit and make sense with the just humanity and the human emotions and the ways that we all can relate. That's the connection and the beauty of what music can bring. But I would love if anyone knows more details about this song and the lyrics or their own personal journey. I'd love to know more, because I'm going off of kind of intuition and my own interpretation. But these lyrics are really beautiful, really powerful. I think anyone who's felt anxiety and depression, who's felt stuck in mental health, who feels like they're not able to get out of that space, and it's scary. It's scary when you're in a funk and you don't recognize yourself. Anyone who's going to relate to these lyrics, and that's such a gift. Such a gift to know that you're not alone in those moments. So please, your life is so beautiful and precious. This is a temporary moment. If you're experiencing any of these feelings, I think back to moments when I was having really dark times in my life, and I'm so grateful that I hung on, because life is really beautiful now, and you can't predict the future. You really, really can't. And so I cheer you on, and I look forward to every step of your journey as you find yourself, as you continue to find yourself. And thank you so much for joining me and for watching this video and experiencing it with me. Please like, subscribe, and share with a friend, and we'll see you in the next one.